Okay. Let us read from another short section of In Love at Ease. This one comes with pictures because we've made it to the halfway point of this book. There are many lovely traditions in the world. Although I'm not affiliated with this one, I think we all can learn from the universal virtues that this spiritual master exemplified. His name was Pramukh Swami, and he truly was in love at ease all of the time. Here we are in the third chapter about him being eyeless. This is I, not eyes that can see, but I that I am. Having a very humble ego. Eyeless is bending, bowing, and becoming. The 3 B's. I was taught to bend and bow since it was part of the tradition. This is the author speaking, a devotee of Pramukh Swamiji. I only learned to bow out of genuine reverence when my guru taught me how to understand the greatness of those who serve God and society. To be eyeless is to bow out of a sense of reverence and mahima, appreciation of others' worth, knowing that God resides within all of creation, not just because it is a formality. Swami Sri experienced God within all and therefore willingly bowed down before his own disciples. The foremost sign of outward respect in the Hindu tradition is to touch someone's feet and then one's own head. He experienced joy in touching their feet. Hence, Swami Sri created a community that thrived on a culture of showing respect to others. I remember one such enlightening interaction I had with Swami Sri on my 13th birthday in 1996. Swami Sri was getting ready to rest in the afternoon when I approached him to seek his blessings for my birthday. Swami Sri lovingly placed his hand on my head and asked me if I had received the blessings of everyone else. I responded, "Swami Sri, your blessings are all I need." Swami Sri was not satisfied. Yogi, which is actually his name and not just a title, Yogi Trivedi, I always mix that up. Yogi, we need everyone's blessings. All of these sadhus and bhaktas, monks and devotees. I desire their blessings too. I was silent. Swami Sri continued, "Do you understand their greatness? Are you willing to touch their feet? Only a spiritual aspirant who is willing to bow down to others transcends." Swami Sri was in an instructive mood, but I just wanted to celebrate another birthday in his presence. "Swami Sri, whatever makes you happy." Swami Sri responded, "Touching their feet and raising the dust from their feet onto my head makes me happy. Are you willing?" I agreed half-heartedly. "Excellent. Tie their shoes in a small bundle and circumambulate." I always struggle with this word. Circumambulate the bhaktas while they are in sabha, sangha, gathering today. That is your birthday gift. In case some people would like to know some more context, in India it's tradition that those you respect, particularly elders and spiritual leaders, you bow down and touch your feet. And although it's taboo in our culture, well, it's kind of the point. We're showing that we are humble enough to touch another person's feet and even bring that to our head so that we become knowledgeable in their groundedness. I hope that makes sense. A few of the sadhus in the room helped me tie a small bundle of shoes belonging to the sadhus and the bhaktas. During the evening assembly, I walked around the Sabha hall 5 times. Later that night, I reported back to Swami Sri. I did as you said. I tied a bundle of the shoes of the sadhus and bhaktas and raised them to my head as I circumambulated the Sabha hall. Swamishri was thrilled. Pardon me. You have no idea how that makes me feel. Come here. Let me touch your head and hands. I want to partake in that journey. All of you will not let me carry your shoes now, but at least I can touch your fortunate hands and head that carried the weight of my sadhus and bhaktas' shoes. These sadhus and bhaktas have selflessly served society and Bhagwan Swaminarayan, which is the form of the divine that chose them. I am grateful for their company and blessings. There was a sense of joy and satisfaction on my Guru's face that I could not understand. I did not appreciate the importance of this moment until much later in my life. Good night, Alice. Swamishri was teaching me servitude and submission to the divine, but also to his creation. He was guiding me to put aside my arrogance and ego and acknowledge the greatness of others. It was something he had done his whole life, and he wanted others to follow in his footsteps. A true indicator of being eyeless is to recognize and celebrate the greatness of others. One cannot pretend to engage in such eyeless behavior. It only comes from within when one truly has cast aside the notion of one's inner pride and station in society. On numerous occasions, Swamishri flipped the guru-disciple hierarchy and showed his reverence for his disciples. His disciples, in turn, would respond with a similar sense of appreciation for their guru and the other disciples. Swamishri was quick to bow down and show respect for his disciples. Swamishri returned at 11:30 p.m. after a long day of satsang sabhas and bhadramanis visiting the households of devotees in neighboring villages. Instead of heading directly to his room to finally rest, Swamishri walked over to Dr. Swami, also known as Swayam Prakashdas Swami, and Kodhari Swami, also known as Bhakti Priyadas Swami. He swiftly bowed down and touched Kodhari Swami's feet before the senior sadhu could react. Swamishri gently said, I remember that you observed a nirjala, waterless fast today. Touching the feet of a fasting ascetic is an honor. The two senior sadhus stood there, unable to respond, as the Guru walked away to his room with folded hands. In a similar instance, Kodhari Swami, along with a few sadhus, returned from a pilgrimage to Loya, one of the villages where Bhagwan Swaminarayan delivered the Vachanamrut, which is something we've been reading also. Delivered Vachanamrut discourses to his disciples. Swamishri was sitting on a swing after his afternoon meal and was pleased to see the sadhus. He remarked, I have not been to Loya yet. I am glad you are able to go and have darshan. In jest, Vivek Sargar Das Swami suggested, since Kodhari Swami has been to Loya, we can touch his feet and partake in the pilgrimage to Loya. He had not even finished his sentence when Swamishri sprang from the swing and swiftly crossed the room to where Kodhari Swami was sitting. He bowed down and touched his disciples' feet. He bowed in respect just as easily as he apologized and took instructions. There's another paragraph, but it gets cut off by the halfway point of this book. There were these images to show. So we'll take an interim and just look at these images together. It's a good question. I think this is relevant. Wizard Fairy, you share that you don't get the kissing feet thing. That's understandable. If you were a guru, would you be humbled by that? Or feel put on a pedestal? I'm reminded of the last book we read called Roar of the Ganges, where a Westerner became a Swami, and indeed someone bent down to show respect by touching the feet. And this Swami Taratmananda, was taken aback. He didn't feel comfortable. So he thought by being humble, he took a step back. But that's when the lady stood up, grabbed his shoulders with a look in the eye like, "No, I'm not showing reverence for you. I'm showing reverence for your tradition. So please allow me to do that." And so she went down and touched the feet. And that was a strange realization for Swami Taratmananda that he shared, that actually it's the most least humble thing you could do, not allowing them to show reverence for your tradition. Because he thought it was about him, showing respect for him as a person. But it had nothing to do with him as a person, but about the spiritual knowledge that he had to share. And no Swami or Guru owns that knowledge. It's not theirs. It's those who want to hear it. And so the bowing down and touching of the feet is a gratitude for the message. So it's a good question. And I love how it was addressed in the last book we read. I hope that makes more sense. But it's voluntary. I should add, we're not worshipping the person. The person is not worshipped. We bow to a guru not because they're our master, but because they're the master of themselves. They have mastered their mind, so to speak. So we take them as a master of our mind because they know how to persuade the mind into love and peace. I hope that makes sense. This can be difficult to understand from a Western perspective because we're used to being taken advantage of by priests or other people in spiritual traditions here that are not working in our best interest. And that is why it's important to find a qualified guru that is not here to take advantage of you, but truly there to guide you from suffering to liberation. When that is found, then, my goodness, you would bow down in reverence. If someone was able to guide you to that eternal peace, definitely. That's great. Okay, back with the reading. I'm happy these conversations arise because it definitely is a culture shock, certainly. So, here we're looking at some pictures. I'll just read the description and then I'll show you the picture each time. Swami Sri offering ornamental flowers to his beloved Hare Krishna Maharaj was Swami Sri's world. His expression here captures the essence of his bhakti, his loving devotion. Swami Sri traveled around the world with his murti of God and served him with all his heart and mind. His bhakti for the divine was the source of his strength to love and serve all of creation. This is great because I've never seen Hare Krishna Maharaj yet, but it's been discussed many times in this book. It's this little statue he brings everywhere as his source of, his epicenter to focus his love. And here is the picture of him. I don't know if it'll focus. Hopefully it will. Oh, I don't know if it is focusing. That's okay. You can see, you can make out Swamiji here, Swamishri here, and his little statue there. A rare moment of personal instruction from the Guru to his principal disciple. A Guru shares a spiritual bond with his disciples, which is felt from within. Swami Sri's successor, His Holiness Mahant Swami Maharaj, who is the current Guru of the organization, often says, "My Guru rarely instructed me in person. I heard his voice and spiritual guidance from within. He was always with me." And there they are together. Again, I am a little sad that it is not focusing. Maybe we can show these images next time as well. But you can see that they're there together. Swamishri blessing the author after a short performance of singing and speaking. Oh, is this baby Yogi Trivedi? This is wonderful. Swamishri encouraged children and youth from across North America who had gathered to perform music and poetry and dance at the Cultural Festival of India in Edison, New Jersey, 1991. So this is the author. There, just a little kid. And you know what? I think I know why it's not focusing. Because the app that I use, if you tap on the screen while setting it up, then it'll manually focus, it'll lock. I really would like you all to see these pictures, so I'm going to reopen it without touching anywhere on the screen. There. And I see some clouds are now above me. There. Now you can see. There's the author, just as a kid, happy kid, in front of Swamishri. And I'll show you the other two pictures now that I have a moment. Here's Swamishri and his little statue, Hare Krishna Maharaj. Him and his principal disciple, Mahan Swami Maharaj. And my computer's running out of stored space. I gotta say goodbye to Mataji again. That's okay. Easy fix. I'll minimize her. I'll remember to do that this time. Swamishri's spirituality gave perspective to millions. At times, quite literally. On more than one occasion, Swamishri gave his own glasses to help a devotee see clearly. He was quick to share what he had with those in need. 1991. There he's giving his own pair of glasses away. Hey, these happen to be your prescription? Yes, I can see better. Okay, they're yours. I love that. Swamishri read and responded to more than 700,000 letters with diligence and devotion during his lifetime. It was as if he believed that each letter was written by the divine. He read them in moments between house visits, meetings, and medical procedures. He would read them at airports, in assemblies, and while resting in bed. These connected him to millions of aspirants around the world, and in turn, he connected them to the divine. 1989. There's him writing letters back to everyone who sent him one. Pramukh Swami Maharaj and Mahant Swami Maharaj with the nation's leaders at the inauguration of the BAPS Sri Swaminarayan Mandir in New Delhi, India. Then Deputy Prime Minister L.K. Advani, then Leader of the Opposition, Manmohan Singh, then Chief Minister of Gujarat Narendra Modi, and then Member of Parliament Sri L.M. Singhvi. Swamishri brought people together by bridging cultural and political divides with his love and effortless spirituality. Here's him and all of those spiritual leaders and his principal disciple. Swamishri loved and served the divine in all beings. He organized relief cattle camps throughout Gujarat during the famine of the late 1980s. These camps were appreciated by government officials and thousands of local farmers because of Swamishri's personal touch. He visited the camps to take stock of supplies and took the time to feed and care for the animals himself. 1987. Here he is, giving some grass or hay to a lovely cow. This one is Swamishri with Ishwar Charandas Swami instructing the sadhus and engineers during the construction of the mandir in Neaston, London. This mandir is the first of its kind, a traditional stone architectural masterpiece built outside of India in modern times. Swamishri was a master builder who built more than 1,100 mandirs. Each mandir contributes to its local community through a variety of spiritual, social, and humanitarian activities. There he is. I like that. He clearly has a vision, holding his hands up like, yes, I see this coming together. This should go there. Yep, just like that. Here is Swamishri with the President of India, APJ Abdul Kalam, and how he was enamored by Swamishri's simplicity, humility, and love for the inner self, his Atmanishta. Dr. Kalam often visited Swamishri when the Guru was in New Delhi to learn about becoming eyeless and in love. From 2001. It's wonderful. Seeing a world leader so humble, sitting cross-legged, crisscross applesauce on the floor. Here is Swamishri being indifferent to traveling to global metropolises or tribal villages like Poshina, Gujarat, which happens to be the place where the proceeds of this book go to support tribal education. Swamishri visited homes of Adivasi families for decades and counseled them on substance abuse and domestic violence. He also encouraged their education and faith in the divine. Here he is in Poshina, Gujarat, with some tribes people. Is that burnt cake? Hello, welcome back. Swamishri traveled to Voorburg, a small town outside The Hague, Netherlands. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Jeanette Groenen, a Dutch woman, had wished that her guru and his sadhus would visit her home. She hand-wove this orange blanket for her guru. Her friend, Han Koop, is presenting it to Swamishri on her behalf here. Swamishri accepted Jeanette's love after offering the warm blanket to the Murti of Hari Krishna Maharaj in 1984. Oh, he looks so happy here in this orange blanket that she wove for him. Happy, happy, happy. Orange is a very happy color. Here is Swamishri addressing religious and world leaders at the United Nations Millennium World Peace Summit. He reminded religious leaders that it was their collective responsibility to teach their disciples to peacefully coexist with followers of other faiths. In 2000, you can see him on the far right. There he is. I'll just show him there. Now it won't focus. Oh, there we go. Huge auditorium. Hello, Sandy. Hi. Oh, he's looking at me like he misses me. You gotta see this. Oh, he's looking at something else now. But he's there, in the window. I love you, Sandy. I know. I'll come in later. Yes, I love you. Yeah. And here is Swamishri placing a yellow flower in a recess of the Western Hall, the Wailing Wall, not as a tourist, but as a pilgrim. He prayed for peace and stability in the region and for the fulfillment of the prayers offered by others there. 1999. There he is, offering a flower in the Wailing Wall. Sandy needs flowers, speaking of which. Finally, Swamishri took every opportunity to encourage others to strengthen their faith in the divine through bhakti, loving devotion. Here's a picture of Swamishri gifting former US President Bill Clinton a mala, prayer beads, and asking him to remember the divine daily, 2000. And Swamishri imparting spiritual lessons to sadhus through playful banter and light laughter. He inspired more than 1,200 young adults to devote their lives to service. I guess they became sadhus. These educated sadhus, indeed, led the community's spiritual and humanitarian activities around the world. He guided and cared for the sadhus with motherly love and a reassuring ease. 1989. Here he is, surrounded by all the sadhus, all the monks. And those are all the pictures, which means we've made it through the halfway point of the book. But I'm going to flip back because we didn't finish that paragraph before we found the halfway point. So I'm going to make a doggy ear there for next time. That is where we'll continue.